If you're in a season of waiting until your body is a certain size or shape or scale number before you really start dressing it and styling it with confidence, I'm so excited for this episode for you. So today I have the amazing Maria Swan on to chat with us all about how to style and love our bodies in its current size. Maria is the on-the-go CEO and mom that love to see other women smile. She's the owner of Stylishly You, a speaker and confidence coach. And I found Maria, one of my friends actually hired Maria to help her with style. And she just has such a great personality. I love all her style on Instagram, but she just has a really great heart to see other women start stepping into fully who they are, being confident. And one of the ways to do that is how they dress. And I know we had the amazing Ginger on, so I thought let's just bring someone else who can share a different perspective as well. And I love Maria because she's all about making it simple. In 5 minutes or less, you can style yourself on a budget. So you're going to enjoy this episode. Maria is a mom. She herself is busy on the go running a business with kids. So she knows the importance of handling life, but also taking care of herself and practically one way, styling. So you're going to love her tips around cleaning out your closet, the basics of a wardrobe, and really how you can start styling yourself in such a way to really start uplifting the body image that you have for yourself. All right, so enjoy this episode. Dive on in. Make sure you follow Maria. Make sure you check out all of her resources. But also, I wanted to remind you before you dive on in that this is the last week to sign up for this round of my Food Freedom Bootcamp. In the Food Freedom Bootcamp, one of the main things, one of the main goals, and one of the main takeaways that you will have is more body confidence. Really diving into what drives our body image, what may be holding you back from viewing your body and treating your body the way you want. And then honestly, practically, what does it take to really start caring and celebrating your body? And one of those things for you might be styling, right? So make sure you check out the details of that in the show notes, but also book a call for this week or message me on Instagram or Facebook or somehow if you're interested, and we can just chat through if this is a fit for you. I would love to support you in finding food, body freedom, body confidence, peace with food, and really celebrating and honoring yourself just as who you are, but also from a health perspective. Okay, enjoy the episode and talk to you soon. You're listening to the More Than Your Weight podcast, and I am Brianna Wilkerson, your host. You know, over half my life, I really struggled with my relationship with food, my body, and myself. I was constantly finding my worth in my weight, in what I did, in how I looked, and how other people saw me. And healthy living was just about getting that affirmation. But when I started to see that my worth and my health was so much more than my weight, I found breakthrough. Yes, my body got to a weight that it really thrived at, but more so than that, I loved myself. I took care of myself and I cared for my body in the way that it needed. And I am on a mission to help other women do the same. And so through this podcast, my programs, my group, I really am on a mission to help other women find peace with food, feel confident in their bodies again, and develop healthy habits and a lifestyle that's so much more than about their weight. So I'm so excited to journey with you on this podcast where you'll find solo episodes, guest interviews, and an occasional essential oil episode from time to time. But before you leave, I want you to do a couple things. Make sure you join my Facebook group, More Than Your Weight Women's Community, where you can unpack these episodes, get weekly trainings, monthly challenges, and a lot of support. But also be sure to hit subscribe and rate and review this podcast, because guess what? I want to make sure this podcast pops in your inbox every single week. But then if you are on Instagram, make sure you follow me there because I show a little bit behind the scenes of my business and my own health journey. So I'm so excited that you're here. Can't wait for you to listen to this new episode. But also, again, just know that you are so much more than your weight. Your health and your worth is so much more than your weight. All right, enjoy the episode, and I hope to talk to you soon. Hey everyone, welcome back to the More Than Your Weight podcast. It is Brianna Wilkerson, your host, and today I have the beautiful, and she is beautiful if you guys saw the video right now, Maria on to share with us what does it mean to practically love your body and your skin the way you are right now versus waiting for it to be a certain size or a certain number or a certain shape. So thank you so much for joining us today, Maria.
Of course, it's no problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let us know a little bit about you. What got you into really wanting to help women have more style? Tell us your story and your background.
Yes, so I've always been into fashion, always been into style. My mom was very stylish. I remember being like 7 or 8 years old and she having a pair of red pumps. And I remember
Those
vividly
red
asking
pumps.
her, right. I remember vividly asking her, can I keep them for when I get older? And my
Oh.
mom said, no, they'll be out of style. And I said, no, they won't. And girl, I kid you not, even to this day, I see those same red pumps out. Same red pumps. Yeah. So it's kind of like I knew like then I had some kind of foresight on style and fashion. And fast forward, I worked in HR, and what actually got me in the path of actually styling is working in HR. Our dress code was, they say business casual, but it was casual.
Mm-hmm.
And I work in a fruit processing plant, and corporate had to wear a certain dress code, and I would always be like above the dress code. So if we were wearing like black slacks, I would have like black slacks with the gold belt and the button down, like, so because I like to look good. And more and more women started asking me, how do you look so good every day? How do you dress? We know you have 2 little kids. Like, how are you? And the more they started asking me questions, I started asking them, why didn't they look how they wanted to look? And that's when they told me they didn't have the time. They felt like they didn't have the resources or the tools to know where to shop and how to shop. And that's when I realized there's a space for me in the styling world where I can help women develop a style and a confidence that is something that can't be shaken. And that's what I do for my clients.
So good. So what does that like practically look like? Someone wants to come to you and say, hey, I really need help with my style. Like what sort of things do you help them around?
Of course. So first, I take them to something that I feel like is very simple, but a lot of women do not feel like this is like the core of their style. I have them clean out that closet, girl. The closet with their old bras, their old nursing bras in it. The closet with their clothes that are too big or too small. The closet that has, gifts and sweaters and tops from people from 5 and 10 years ago, and they feel bad for throwing it away, so they keep it in their closet. So I go over that first, and we have a real conversation. And when they're hesitant about throwing something away that I know is out of style and I know can't fit, I say, all right, let's sit down, let's talk. Why are you keeping that? And it's stories behind these clothes.
Right.
It's stories, behind these clothes. So when I work with my clients and we get their closet clean out, girl, the relief on my clients, it's like we're done there. They're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. Like I have space, I know what I have, and this and that. So after we do that, then we start to talk about how they want to look, how they want to show up. What are your goals? Like, what do you want to exude to the world in what you put on? And then when they tell me that, I take notes, and then I go in and I start getting their wardrobe together. I give them the basics, right? So the basics. And I'm going to give you an example. So for a business coach who's like, I don't really go anywhere, but I take a lot of calls and I go live and I want to look polished, I'll throw in like a cardigan or a blazer, some really crisp t-shirts, like things that they can put on, take off, do what they need to do in order to look polished and feel good, but to also be comfortable. So it just depends on the type of client that I'm working with. But that's what it looks like. Closet organizing and strategizing how we're going to make your closet do what it needs to do, filling their closet with the things that they need, and actually talking about their body, because we have to talk about body before we get clothes on. Because I don't care how much I order you, I don't care how much I tell you they look good on you. If you're not okay with your body, those clothes will never look good.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true, right? Because you're right. Yeah. Like all these steps, I think we all have probably like, we know we need to do all these, but there are these blocks or these thoughts or what you were even saying, stories behind the clothes or stories behind our body that kind of hold us back. So what would you like, based on the women that you've worked with, talked with, like, what are some of the things that come up around their body that make it hard for them to want, get the style that they want?
Well, I've worked with several clients who, when they came to me, they're like, I don't really know if I can work with you because I'm losing weight. And I said, this is the perfect time for you to work with me.
Right.
Because one is, you want to look good while you're losing weight. You don't want to wait till you get to your weight goal in order for you to say, oh my gosh, I'm the prize now. Let me put on some nice clothes. you're working hard to lose weight. Why not look good while you're going down on your weight?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or if I had the client that was losing weight, was very obvious that she was losing weight, but she still had it in her mind that she was overweight and she didn't like her body. So I had to sit and talk to her about that, give her affirmations and be like, girl, you look good. You've come down since I've been working with you 10, 20 pounds. You need to get to a place where you're sitting by yourself into your thoughts and telling yourself, I'm doing good. I'm working hard on losing. And until I lose what I want to lose, I deserve to look good. I deserve to look amazing, So those are the things that come up, with their body and their clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, right after I had my daughter, you said you've had kids too. I just was like in the shower. And I think I knew that as I was pregnant, of course you gain weight, your body changes, but there's something that happens right after that. You're like, suddenly, am I going to go back? But I had to be okay with that process. But I just remember being in the shower saying, I'm going to choose to love my body no matter what size, shape, or scale number is at. And so what did that practically mean? It meant, yes, taking care of myself. But that's when I was like, I just got to get clothes I feel good in. Actually, my clothes pre-baby, I didn't want to wear anymore. I'm like, that's not my style anymore, So I love how you acknowledge that we can have goals that we want our body to change, but that doesn't mean it's like when you're pregnant, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm expanding, but I'm going to wear these old clothes. It's like, no, you're going to go to the maternity place and get some stylish clothes, right? It's the same thing. And I just love the affirmation you created around like, no matter what your weight, no matter what your size or your goal, I deserve to look good and feel amazing.
Yeah. It's funny. You said that about the baby weight. I say this all the time. And because I'm at Soma now and I'm fitting women for bras and things like that, is a very intimate time because after women have babies and their breasts do whatever they're going to do, they're very insecure, right? And I have to literally look these women in the face and say, you had a baby. First of all, you formed a baby in your stomach and you created a human being. And then you chose to breastfeed or not. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And then your breast decided to do whatever it wanted to do.
Yes.
After you house a human being, I think you need to give yourself some credit.
Right.
And I think you need to be okay with the fact that your body may not be the same because you are blessed to house a little being. You know what I'm saying? So I really have to I call them body seasons. Love your body in the season that it's in. Like we may not like all the seasons that come. We prefer summer. Some of us prefer winter. But either one, we got to prepare for either one of those seasons, right? Why not do that with your clothes? Why not do that with your body? Embrace it.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And, for those listening to what you were saying, obviously, with moms, our bodies change, but even as we get older, right? So when we age, our bodies change no matter what you're doing. And I think it's the perfect time to adjust, the perfect time to say like what, so for those clients who are maybe a little bit older, those who are, in 30s, 40s, 50s, like what are some tips you would have for them around styling their bodies?
I would say, and this is really big for me, because before you put on clothes, you have to come to grips with the fact that your body is changed or has changed, right? So I would tell them, come to grips with the fact that, like me, I have cellulite and back fat I've never had in my life. You know what I'm saying? But because I know that that's the season that my body is in, I'm embracing it and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to cover up or enhance the things I want to cover up or enhance. It's just that simple. Like, it's just that easy. There are parts of our bodies that we want to cover up, and there's the parts of our body that we want to enhance. And if you're in that time where you're like, I want to cover this up for now, because I don't really like how it's looking and how it's sitting, and I want to enhance this. How about we focus on the things that you need to enhance, and we just cover up the stuff that you want to hide? It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Yeah.
I love that, enhance versus cover up. And, and I do think what you were saying, it's okay to dress to a way that you feel comfortable with, but also you can still dress stylish. And I think some people think stylish is not comfortable, but I mean, you're probably like, no, like I'm not going to be not comfortable as I be stylish. So like,
no.
what are some myths too? Like maybe that's one around style that keep people back from having style.
Okay. Number one myth is that, and I say this all the time, you do not have to compromise your comfort for style. You do not have to compromise. You can have both. I am a firm believer, and one reason why, this is funny you asked, I started my business is because I hate wearing clothes. I could put on a tank top and some boy shorts or a tank top and some leggings every single day, I promise you I would, but
Mm-hmm.
I can't show up like that. Right. And because I need to show up in a different way, I get the things that I need to get in order for me to still be comfortable, but look very put together. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
So one myth that you can't be comfortable. I'm always comfortable. Let's say that. Okay. Two is that when you focus on your style, you're being superficial or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I focus on my style, or I don't need to focus on my style. My business is doing good. I don't have to worry about how I look and how I show up. My career is going well. Why do I have to do that? A lot of times I tell my clients, this is not for everybody around you. It really is for you, right? Because on those days when you don't have anything to wear and you're scrambling around trying to figure it out, you need to know what you're going to put on still, right? On those days when you have a big event and you're looking for a dress and you don't know what store to go to, that's stressful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can imagine something coming up and I don't know where to get it from. And now I got to pay somebody again and again and again to figure out what I'm going to put on, right? So that's number two myth is I'm being superficial. I don't have to care about, what I put on. People don't care. People do care about what you put on. They do care about how you show up. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I tell my client, why don't you do it for you? Why don't you do it to keep your stress level down? Like, why don't you do it to boost your confidence, right? Why don't you do it to look good so your body can look good in those clothes, right? So that's another myth that they think is being superficial and it's not. And number three is a myth that I hear all the time about style is you have to keep up with the trends to be stylish, but you don't. I've never kept up with the trends. People say me that all the time. People say, Maria, you never know. I haven't picked up a fashion magazine, girl, I think in almost 10 years, to be honest. I just never kept up. I wear what I know looks good on me. I wear things that I know are timeless, like a blazer or a white button up or a white t-shirt, something that I know that I could put this on 5 or 10 years from now and I can still look good in it.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So that's the biggest one, that I have to keep up with the trends and I have to keep buying clothes and I have to keep up with what's going on in order for me to be stylish, and you don't. Trends, they change all the time. Style, you can be stylish today, have the same clothes and be stylish tomorrow and 5 years from now.
Right. And I think another one, I mean, those three are great, or is like, it costs a lot of money to be stylish. No. It's the same thing. Like I would tell someone, they would say it costs a lot of money to be healthy. And yes, it may be because you're buying more fruits and vegetables versus bread, whatever, but you can be healthy and live on a budget. You can be stylish and live on a budget. Tell us about that.
Girl, I can talk about that all day.
I know. Let's go.
Okay, so when I work with my clients, so this is something I'm gonna tell you because you asked. I don't tell just the world this, but if somebody works with me and they say, I want to work with you, but I don't have a big budget for clothes. Girl, you literally need like $300 to start a good starting piece of wardrobe, right? $300 would get you undergarments. It would get you the basics that you need to go in your closet in order for you to look really good, right? And I also tell my clients it's not expensive because you can shop sale. And I tell my clients this, the only way you can, and I make them say this back to me, only reason or way you shop sale is if you absolutely love what you see. Do not shop sale because it's on sale. Don't do that, because what you're going to do is fill your closet up with stuff you don't like. So if you see a top there, if you see a dress there, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to get it. All I do is shop sales, girl. All I do is shop sale. And I'm a big consignment and thrifter. Yep. So I would go to the consignment shop and rack up. You hear me? I will rack up. I will find the best deals. I will find the most beautiful pieces, girl, on consignment. So it's not expensive at all. And one thing I want to say, building a wardrobe takes time.
Yes.
Especially if you're, like you say, going through weight gain or weight loss or whatever. It takes time. So you get a few pieces here, right? Wait, mix and match it with things that you have. Get another few pieces in another month or the next month. And you can mix it and match it with the pieces that you have. You see what I'm saying? So it's not expensive at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So if you were to just, women listening are like, okay, yeah, I know I need to do my style. I know, like, what's one like piece of encouragement you just like want to say to every woman listening around this?
I want to say that when you let a lot of women, and they don't like to admit it, they let themselves go. And we don't want to hear that phrase, oh my gosh, I let myself go, right? But I want to say when we let ourselves go, there can be a moment where we pick ourselves back up and we feel and look how we want to feel and look. Like sometimes life and sometimes circumstances or sickness will have us letting ourselves go. You know, we feel like we can't dress how we, or budget, we can't shop how we budget, or we get little kids. So I feel like I can't invest and, take time out for myself. But that moment when you feel like I've let myself go to the point where it's doing something to my confidence, you have the total authority to give yourself permission to say, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And I want to feel myself every day. And I'm going to pick it back up. And I'm going to do what I need to do to get back to me. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And, I think, what you're saying, people let themselves go could be something, people might say that around their weight or their health, but even in what you're saying with your style, where you're just like, like my hair, since having baby, my hair grows out so fast. And then at some point I'm like, I'm just going to throw it up in a bun. And I'm like, but I don't like how it looks when I do that. So I'm like, no, I'm going to get my hair cut. Because when my hair's cut, I just style myself a lot better, right? So it's like that process of quote unquote letting yourself go just happens over time. But I love what you said, that you can pick yourself back up. And for you, for some women, it may be just like you need to start dressing the way that you want to feel versus waiting to feel a certain way and then dressing the certain way, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So real. Yeah.
So good. Well, is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap up? And we'll talk about where people can find you as well, but anything else you would like to share?
I would like to share this one tip that everybody can do as soon as they listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Go clean out your closets.
Yes.
Clean it out. Like, guys, I'm going to give you 3 things. Anything you can't fit, throw it out. Anything that you haven't worn in 6 to 9 months and you can't wear it, as far as you keep looking at it like, maybe I wear it, maybe I won't, throw it out. And anything that's worn out,
throw it out.
Throw it out. Just throw it out.
Oh man, you're calling me out. I'm not for anyone listening, some underwear is just super comfortable, but then it has a little bit of hole. You're like, I should throw this out, but it's like, I did that. And I was like, okay, it's time.
Yes.
Even your undies, people, throw them out.
Throw them out.
Throw them out. I love that. That's a great place to start. Just cleaning out, and that's that decluttering that space so that you can fill it up with the things that you do.
Yes. Good stuff. Yes.
Right. Awesome. Well, for those who are interested in maybe working with you or, checking you out, where can people find you on social, and how can people contact you about working with you?
So I am Stylishly You on Instagram. I am www.bestylishlyou is my website, and I am Stylishly You on Facebook. So they can find me any of those 3.
Yes. I love it. I love it. Well, yes, I will definitely link everything in and be sure you check it out. And I mean, again, ladies, no matter where you are in your body image journey or your health journey, it's time to just take care of yourself and dress for not to impress anyone else, but for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Maria.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
What an amazing episode. I just really loved how Maria talked about the different myths around body styling and confidence, and really thinking that, okay, if we're stylish, we're superficial, or we have to keep up with the trends, or it costs a lot of money and we have to compromise comfort. And really, she just addressed how you can actually still be comfortable, still buy good clothes on a budget, and feel good in your skin. So be sure again to check out all of Maria's resources. Follow her on Instagram, and just get the support you need from the styling piece. But as a reminder, if you're ready to do the body image work, if you're ready to dive deep into what does freedom with food, my body, what does freedom from feeling like I have to be a certain number on the scale look like, I would love to support you through my 6-week Food Freedom Bootcamp. This is going to be a transformational experience filled with weekly coaching calls, trainings, a Facebook group, accountability partner, just so many great resources to help you leave more confident in who you are, finding peace with food, not feeling like food is your master, feeling like you're in control, and really stepping into the woman that you were always meant to be, because your worth is in so much more than the scale will ever say. All right? or your size will ever say. So if you're interested, book a clarity call for this week, madewell345.com/clarity, or message me. And even if you're somehow listening to this and the time has passed, please message me if you're interested in this work, because I really think this is the foundation of really stepping into the health and worth and value that we carry as women, is when we can find peace with food in our body and ourselves. All right. Grateful for you all. And I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you on the next one. That's a wrap. That's another episode of the More Than Your Weight podcast. I hope you're leaving encouraged and inspired and empowered to go out there and know that your health and your worth is so much more than your weight. So before you go, again, do a couple things. Make sure you join my Facebook group, the More Than Your Weight Women's Community, where there are daily posts, weekly trainings, and just a lot of support to unpack these episodes, as well as get support in your More Than Your Weight journey. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram, where I show my behind the scenes of my own health, but also just how I care for others along the way. And then make sure you subscribe, and rate and review this podcast, because more women will see that, but also you'll get new episodes every single week. All right. I'll see you on the next episode, and can't wait to support you more.